पंजाबी देखते हुए सारे दर्शकों ਨੂੰ ਮੇਰੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਪਿਆਰ ਭਰੀ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਮੁੱਦਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਹੋਸਟ ਆਸ਼ਮਿਤਾ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਜ ਸ਼ਾਮ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਫਿਰ ਨਿੱਘਾ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਖਾਸ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਅੱਜ ਸ਼ਾਮ ਹਾਜ਼ਰ ਹੋਇਆ ਇਸ ਵੀਕਐਂਡ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਲਈ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਵੀਕਐਂਡ ਹੈਗਾ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਬਾਹਰਲੇ ਮੁਲਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੀ ਤਰੱਕੀ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੀ ਚੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਏਰੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਸਿਰਫ ਕਾਰੋਬਾਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਂ ਮੈਡੀਸਿਨ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਵਰਟੀਕਲ ਕੋਈ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨ ਲੈ ਲਓ ਬਟ ਆਰਟਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਐਂਡ ਮਾਣ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਵੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੀ ਆਰਗੇਨਾਈਜੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਹਨ ਐਂਟੀਟੀਜ਼ ਹਨ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਸ ਆਰਟ ਵਰਲਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਫਿਲਮ ਫੋਟੋ ਫੋਟੋਗ੍ਰਾਫੀ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਸ਼ਨ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਵੱਡੇ ਅਹੁਦੇ ਤੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਇਨਫੈਕਟ ਮੇਨ ਸਟ੍ਰੀਮ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਫਿਲਮ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਵੀਕਐਂਡ ਸਿੱਖ ਆਰਟਸ ਫਿਲਮ ਫਾਊਂਡੇਸ਼ਨ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਇੰਟਰਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਫਿਲਮ ਫੈਸਟੀਵਲ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਰਾਈਟ ਹੇਅਰ ਇਨ ਨਿਊਯਾਰਕ ਸਿਟੀ ਐਂਡ ਇਸ ਫਿਲਮ ਫੈਸਟੀਵਲ ਦੀ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕਰਾਂਗੀ ਆਫ ਕੋਰਸ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਆ ਕੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਇਨ ਫਿਲਮਸ ਨੂੰ ਵੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਜੋ ਸਿੱਖ ਸਟੋਰੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਨੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਪੱਧਰ ਤੇ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਇੱਥੇ ਨਿਊਯਾਰਕ ਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਟ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਸ਼ਾਮ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਟੂਡੀਓਜ਼ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਹਨ ਇੱਕ ਫਿਲਮ ਦੀ ਟੀਮ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਅਮਰੀਕਨ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਸਟੋਰੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਗੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਸਿਰਫ ਮਲਟੀ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨਲ ਕਨੈਕਸ਼ਨਸ ਫੋਰਜ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ ਬਟ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਆਸਕਰਸ ਤੱਕ ਵੀ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਟੀਮ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮਿਲੀਏ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਫਿਲਮ ਦਾ ਟ੍ਰੇਲਰ ਦਿਖਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਇਹ ਟ੍ਰੇਲਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਹੁਣ
I used to be seen as an outsider, but now people see me as a villain. But I got a strange idea. If I'm going to stand out, I want people to see me as Sikh and an American.
ਇਹ ਫਿਲਮ ਅਮਰੀਕਨ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੀ ਸਟੋਰੀ ਦੱਸਦੀ ਹੈ ਐਂਡ ਕਿਉਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਗਿਆ ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਹੁਣ ਥੋੜੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਡਿਸਕਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਇਸ ਫਿਲਮ ਦੇ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟਿਵ ਪਾਵਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੇ ਹੋਏ ਹਨ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ I'd love to welcome you both to the program ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ
ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ
So great to have you Vishwajit Singh director producer on the film American Sikh and of course Ryan Westra you're a producer on the film and you have such a deep connection with the Sikh community it is such a pleasure to have you guys both in our studio. Vishwajit, this film, your presence online has been making waves for months now. As our viewers just saw, you guys already were at Tribeca Film Festival this past summer. I mean, this is already an amazing achievement. But this weekend, you're here in New York once again for the Sikh International Film Festival. Teji Bindraji is personally so excited to have you feature in this film festival. Vishwajit, how are you feeling right now?
You know, we've been on this amazing journey since Tribeca in June. We've been traveling all over the US to many film festivals, to the South, Northwest, up and down both coasts. Ryan, my co-director, he's been covering the West Coast, I've been covering the East Coast. It's been an amazing wild journey. I mean, we've had audiences from many different backgrounds coming up and telling us how they are embracing this film, and for us that's been amazing.
Ryan, I'd love to hear a little bit about how you got involved on this project. Now, you know, to get the obvious question out of the way first, this is not your first foray telling Sikh stories. In fact, you have a long trajectory. Yeah. What has your journey been with the Sikh community?
Yeah, it's been a long and beautiful journey. I went to film school in Orange County at Chapman, and they have a really close relationship with Bicky Singh and Sikh Lens. And through those programs, while I was a student, I did 5 different films about Sikhs and Sikh issues, going to Amritsar, going to Punjab, also going around the US. and I kind of fell in love with the community. And I was inspired not only because the stories are so beautiful, but also because there's so few films in the U.S. made about Sikhs and Sikh issues. So every film is an opportunity to introduce Sikhism to Americans for the first time. And the very last student project, I was randomly assigned by Bikki Singh to do a documentary about Vishwajit's work as Sikh Captain America in New York. So myself, a couple other students came out to New York. Vishwajit got in costume and we hit the streets of New York, and he interviewed people directly on the streets, asking them to talk about their biases and you know, where do they think he's from, what religion do they think he's from, and of course the vast majority of people had no idea that he was Sikh. The vast majority of people assumed that he was an American. Right. And the thing that was really impactful to me and beautiful to me, after having done so many Sikh films, this was a time that was special because I saw people open up to Vishwajit and get excited about talking to Vishwajit, and they were open to learning about Sikhs and Sikhism in a way that I'd never seen before. And then in contrast to all that positivity I saw, there was a moment at the end of shooting with Vishwajit where he got back in his normal clothes and he came back out in the street and someone called him Osama bin Laden from across the street right away. So it's one thing to hear about that happening, it's another thing to see it happen right in front of you. Especially after a day of seeing so much positivity. So after making that short film, it was called Red, White and Beard in 2014, I felt like there was more to the story, more to tell with Vishwajit's story. So in 2019, I reached out to Vishwajit again and said, let's make a short film together, and let's put a lot of thought and effort into this film, and let's do our best to make, you know, the most successful, important, impactful film that's ever been made about an American Sikh. And in June, it was the first time ever that a film telling the story of an American Sikh ever premiered at a major American festival, and ever since then it's just been an incredible journey.
I mean, you know, so you've been to Punjab a few times, and obviously I'm sure Vishwajit, you know this phrase, but it seems like your film, this project is in Chardi Kala, it's in constant upliftment. This is so great to hear, you know, not just how well the film is doing, but kind of the behind the scenes of the team working on it. We have some other folks in the studio too that are part of the team here, because obviously it takes a lot of hard work. But before we go to break, Vishwajit, I have to ask, you know, you have this track record of telling your story. In the years that you've been doing this, have you seen a reception like the one that American Sikh is getting, or do you think that this is something completely unique for you, even as a creative individual involved in this project?
So, you know, outside of this film, I mean, I used to do a lot of traveling, performance art as Captain America, public speaking, which is what I still do in schools and companies, and getting wonderful reception. I think with the filmmaking process, you realize that your audience is much bigger. I mean, you know, people can watch this film not only at festivals, but when you put it on, you know, platforms, it can just reach millions of people. So I think that's sort of a taste we're getting, but this is also a film that took us 4 years to make. That's a lot of time and effort. So the final product that we have here, we did 30 cuts, so the version that people are going to get to see on the big screen and the small screen, that's the 30th version. We did a lot of user testing with Ryan's friends and family. So what you're seeing with American Sikh is just a very purposeful story, a very powerful story. And so we've seen a lot of people who've seen the film coming up and saying, who are, by the way, who are not Sikh or Punjabi, maybe don't even know much about Sikhi or Sikhs, and they're connecting to the film. And for us, for me, as an American, as a Sikh, nothing could be sweeter to have somebody who thinks they have nothing to share with me when they look at me. They see the film and go, you know what, I have a lot in common with you.
Wow. आज कोई पॉलिटिक्स, कोई खबरां, कोई ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਵੀਕਐਂਡ ਕਿਸੇ ਗਲਤ ਪਾਸਿਓਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਏ। ਇਨਫੈਕਟ ਇਸ ਵੀਕਐਂਡ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਸਿੱਖ ਇੰਟਰਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਫਿਲਮ ਫੈਸਟੀਵਲ ਹੋਣ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਨਿਊਯਾਰਕ ਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਰੂਬਨ ਮਿਊਜ਼ੀਅਮ ਅਵਾਰਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਜਾਂ ਅਟੈਂਡ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਤੁਸੀਂ sikharts.com ਤੇ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਬਟ ਇਸ ਫਿਲਮ ਫੈਸਟੀਵਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੀ ਫਿਲਮ ਪ੍ਰੀਮੀਅਰ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ ਮੇਨ ਸਟ੍ਰੀਮ ਅਮਰੀਕਨ ਫਿਲਮ ਸਰਕਲਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉੱਚੀ ਚੜ੍ਹਾਈਆਂ ਚੜ੍ਹ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਇਨਫੈਕਟ ਸਿੱਖ ਅਮਰੀਕਨ ਸਟੋਰੀ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਨਵੇਂ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਇਨ ਦ ਫਿਲਮ ਅਮਰੀਕਨ ਸਿੱਖ। ਇਸ ਫਿਲਮ ਦਾ ਪੋਸਟਰ ਵੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਰਿਲੀਜ਼ ਹੋਇਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਹਲਚਲ ਜੀ ਮਚ ਗਈ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਫਿਲਮ ਇੱਕ ਨਵੇਂ ਮਾਧਿਅਮ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਨਵੇਂ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹ ਕਹਾਣੀ ਦੱਸਣ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਸਾਡੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਲਈ ਇੱਕ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ ਇੱਕ ਡੇ ਟੂ ਡੇ ਸਟੋਰੀ ਹੈ। ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਇਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਕਹਾਣੀ ਹੈ। ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੁੜੇ ਹੋਏ ਇੱਕ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਹਸਤੀ ਹੁਣ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਹਨ। ਜੁਆਇਨਿੰਗ ਅਸ ਨਾਓ ਐਗਜ਼ੀਕਿਊਟਿਵ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਿਊਸਰ ਔਨ ਦ ਫਿਲਮ ਅਮਰੀਕਨ ਸਿੱਖ ਮਿਸਟਰ ਵਿਕਾਸ ਖੰਨਾ, celebrity chef, all around TV personality. Vikas ji, welcome to the studio. Sat Sri Akal. It's so good to have you here, Vikas ji. You're looking great, and of course, you know, I don't know if it's the effect of the film or New York City or just being back at our studios, but you look awesome.
I've known you since you were a kid. Maybe it's because of that. I've seen your entire journey into this.
Vikas
ji, I'm so proud of you.
This is such an amazing project. The whole community is proud of this project, and to see you associated with this, especially at the executive producer role, it's so phenomenal. How did you come about being part of this project?
I've known about Vishwajit Singh for a long time, but for me he was like somebody who defines. मैंने लगता कि एक ऐसा इंसान है जो मतलब प्रतीक है हिम्मत दा। Like, you know, a lot of people, oh, shells band when they see so much of hate around them, they lock themselves out. They don't want to be a part of social structure. But Vishwajit for me was like a superhero, and I think it was 2013 or 14. I read an article about him. There's Sikh Captain America, and it just broke my heart seeing the hate online. And for me, it was the first time in my life. Very सारी पैदाइश अमृतसर दी है, अमृतसर नहीं होता, अमृतसर होता। But मतलब 29 years I've lived in Amritsar, and for me, all my life, my grandmother instilled in me, because she was a follower of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and she said that, you know, Sikh are superheroes. They are the protectors. They are the ones who stood for us. They are the ones, our daughters, our mothers. Everybody was protected at one time by Sikhs. This is the whole pratha. तो वो गाल मेरे ना दिमाग में मेरे ज़हन बहुत फंसी हुई थी। When I started like, you know, going in favor of Vishwajit and defending those comments, a lot of hate came towards me and saying that, oh, Captain America is never supposed to have a beard and it's like a turban, and I'm like, wow. So that thing passed on. We moved on to our different lives, and then the movie came out with Ryan Restra creating this and Vishwajit. I'm like, this is so brilliant. And Tribeca Film Festival, you know, we've seen Tribeca Film Festival grow since 2001, and for me it's a very symbolic festival of New York. But मैंने लगा पहली बार मैं एक पगड़ी वाला सरदार देखा पोस्टर पे.
My gosh.
And for me this won my heart. I'm like, this is amazing what they've done.
Yeah.
They're trying to create a more inclusive society, celebrating the uniqueness and also our heritage.
Absolutely.
तब मैं fan था बहुत सालों तो सी, but this movie is very important for our times.
Ji.
I saw the 84 riots with my eyes. I was a teenager. I saw that whole displacement of Hindu Pandits from Kashmir. I was in 92, I was in Bombay. I saw the scars. 9/11, I saw the discrimination and hate which came towards us. And for me, this was like the most sacred project. And to be a part of this, for me, it's मैंने लगता है कि बहुत कहते हैं ना वो पूरी ज़िंदगी दी पूंजी है. ये ज़िंदगी दी पूंजी वर्गी ये फिल्म है कि where I feel that I'm being a part of this forever. Since I was born, I was a part of this.
जी.
You know, when you're raised in Amritsar, थोड़े चारों तरफ, you know, हरिमंदिर साहब तो सिर्फ खाना बनाना सीखा, सेवा करनी हो तो सीखी, थोड़े सारे टीचर सीख से, थोड़ी सारी फैमिली, like, you know, is always this Sikh. It was like so interconnected.
Absolutely.
All my best friends, Karan Sandhu and Rana, they're both Sardar. They are the only friends I have till now in my life.
Wow.
And I just feel for me, Vishwajit became an extension of what we all want to be, us to belong somewhere.
So, Vishwajit ji, I have to ask, obviously, the million-dollar question. You know, poster veख के या trailer veख के, we see सानू एक झलक इस film दी दिसदी है, एक animation style दे विच, right? Sikh stories दसियां गई हैं, but यह एक नवा तरीका हैगा. So, tell me a little bit about what the choice, the reasoning behind the choice to portray this story through animation.
Yeah, so when Ryan approached me in 2019, we said, okay, let's do this project, let's tell my life story. And so as we initially started talking about sort of my journey, he knew a little bit about my life story. So as we, got more into my story, we knew there's two tragedies that are going to be part of this life story: 1984 and 9/11. And they're both very deep tragedies, a lot of lives lost. And we knew those are heavy topics. So if we were to do live action, we knew that can get heavy. And our goal is not to, weigh people down. So we decided animation would be actually a good way to leave something to the imagination.
Yeah.
And keep people focused on, out of those tragedies, sometimes how you respond to those tragedies. Sometimes good things come out of those, right? And so for me, I've had just incredible transitions. And after 9/11, I met some, through art, I fortunately did not go the route of, as Vikas was saying, you can hate the world or some groups of people. I saw a cartoon, then I saw something else, and it just took me in a very different direction. So I became an artist, and I processed my frustration, my anger, hate that was directed at me, and I poured it into my art.
Beautiful.
And that's kind of the direction it has gone into. Yeah, so I think, animation to us was like, me and Ryan were like, you know what, animation is how we're going to do it. It was a challenge because we had not done any animation film before. It was going to cost a lot more money as well because animation is very expensive. But we're like, you know what, we're up for the challenge. We spent 4 years working on that film.
My goodness.
2 crowdfunding campaigns, 600 people around the globe supported financially to make this film happen. So to all our donors and our executive producers, there's many. We are just, from the bottom of our heart, we're just so thankful because we have this force, behind us who believes in this mission that let's tell stories that can have dark and light chapters in it, but the ultimate aim and focus is, look, fundamentally we have to be guided by, Vikas has mentioned this about Sikh heritage, kindness and compassion. For me, Pai Kanhaiya is like my superhero, has always been my superhero, and
history books, that was my favorite character.
That's my North Star, Pai Kanhaiya. Be like Pai Kanhaiya, meaning kindness, compassion, even on the battlefield, kindness, compassion.
Even
so
for
that's our mission.
ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ Sikh Arts Film Foundation ਵੱਲੋਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਐਨੂਅਲ Sikh International Film Festival ਕੱਲ ਨਿਊਯਾਰਕ ਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਣ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਹੈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜੋ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਵੇਖਦੀ ਹੋਈ ਲੋਕਲ ਸੰਗਤ ਹੈਗੀ, ਦਰਸ਼ਕ ਹੈਗੇ, ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਪਹੁੰਚਣ। ਮੈਨਹਟਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ ਡੇ ਲੌਂਗ ਇਵੈਂਟ ਹੈਗਾ, ਨਾ ਕਿ ਸਿਰਫ ਸਾਡੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਜੋ ਸਟੋਰੀਜ਼ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਣ ਲਈ, ਉਨ ਫਿਲਮ ਮੇਕਰਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮਿਲਣ ਲਈ, ਬਟ ਇੱਕ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਲਈ, ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਅਹੁਦਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ, ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟਸ ਨੂੰ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਦਿਖਾਉਣ ਲਈ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਹੁੰਚੋ। ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ sikharts.com ਤੇ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਫਿਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਟੀਮ, the team behind American Sikh ਜੁੜੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ। ਵਿਸ਼ਵਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ, ਰਾਇਨ ਵੈਸਟਰਾ, of course ਵਿਕਾਸ ਖੰਨਾ ਜੀ। ਇੰਨੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਜ਼ਬੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, so passionately you spoke about your involvement in this project and how this project isn't just about this film today, but about the Sikh struggle spanning decades now. Ryan, I'm going to start with you on this, right? We were talking a little bit about, before the break, the actual medium, the style of the film is an animated style. It's very different. Surely it connects with people differently, right? What is your goal here in terms of how you want people to connect with this film, whether they're younger, older, aunties, uncle, kids who don't speak Punjabi? What are you hoping for?
Yeah, so as Vishwajit talked a little bit about before the break, the really exciting thing about animation is it allows us to talk about some serious issues in a way that's fun and digestible and that people want to watch, they want to share. Same thing with Vishwajit's work as Sikh Captain America. When you see a man with a turban and beard as a superhero, it sticks with you and you think about it because it's so rare to see that. It's so rare to see Sikhs portrayed in a positive light in American media, and that's why we're excited to have American Sikh be released. And we hope that anyone who sees this film remembers Sikh Captain America.
Sikh Captain America. I mean, this is such a great concept, right? And as someone who has seen all of the Marvel movies, even the bad ones, Captain America is undoubtedly, you know, one of the best characters of all time. To see a Sikh portrayal of that is so powerful. Vikas Khanna ji, तुसी break तो पहले दस रहे सी, तुहाड़ा जो एक सफर रहा है, इस तरह the creative projects दे विच, you know, once again, what is the mission here and what's the big goal that you're hoping जिदे करके तुसी इस project दे विच जुड़े हो?
देखो जी, बड़ी रब दी करनी होंदी है, थोड़ी पैदाइश किहड़े माँ बाप दे नाल होंदी है, ते किहड़े शहर च होंदी है. I was chosen to be born in the shadow of the Golden Temple. So how fortunate can I get? So I feel कि वो मेरे सिर ते ना हमेशा बहुत बड़ा एक मैंने लगता है responsibility भी है to खड़े होना for your own people. And I've always been that guy. I think बहुत बड़ा moment है कल दा मेरे वास्ते बहुत emotional day है. Tomorrow is going to be tough for me emotionally because almost 13 years ago, 2010, December 2nd, I showcased my first documentary called Holy Kitchens, which talked about Sikhism, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Sacha Sauda, and why langars are the biggest reflection of who Sikhs are, the seva. And that movie was like transformative because, you know, people just knew me as a chef. And then because of that, I was invited to almost every Ivy League universities. I went to White House, Oxford, Buckingham Palace, just because of that movie which showcased Sikhism and the true spirit of who Sikhs are. And now, I think Vishwajit Singh embodies that spirit of Sikhs, of forgiveness in so many ways, of belonging in so many ways, of leadership in so many ways. Sapna jo tuse puchya, sapna iyo hai that 97th Academy Awards to have a Sikh with beard and turban walk up to the steps. For me, that is possibly one of the biggest victories for our coming generations and also to honor our ancestors. The coming generations to be proud of their heritage, and nothing should stop you because of your faith, your color, how you look, how you dress up, your accents. Nothing should stop you from achieving the top award.
विकास जी ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਮੂਚ ਘਿਓ ਸ਼ੱਕਰ ਆਸਕਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਕੇ ਦਿਖਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਵਿਸ਼ਵਜੀਤ ਜੀ you know before we close out the program here I'd love to hear your appeal to viewers, right? As a creative individual, as an artist, this film is still something that is going to be consumed by millions. Hopefully a lot of them will you know come out tomorrow to see it in person, to talk with you guys and meet you. What is your call to action for the viewers today?
Well, my hope is that you do make it tomorrow to the film festival. If you cannot, you know, you can go to our website, americansikhfilm.com. You can watch the film. And I would also say the other call to action is support Sikh art projects, filmmaking. We are working on bigger film projects, me and Ryan. So, you know, be generous with your heart and mind.
Awesome. And you know, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਾ charity starts at home, ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਕਦਮ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚੁੱਕ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਆਪ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਨ ਪਹੁੰਚੋ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਨਵੋਲਵ ਹੋ, ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਪਾਓ, ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟਿਵ ਇੰਡੀਵਿਜੂਅਲਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਇੰਨੇ ਹਾਰਡ ਵਰਕ, ਇੰਨੀ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਿਊਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰੋ. Once again, the team of American Sikh, Vishwajit Singh, Ryan Westra, of course Vikas Khanna ji, it's such a pleasure to have you. I want to let the folks know once again, the Sikh Arts Film Foundation is bringing to you once again the Sikh International Film Festival taking place in New York City tomorrow, Saturday, December 16th, all day. You can find the information at sikharts.com. अगर तुसी American Sikh film देखनी है, कल नहीं पहुंच सकते, तुसी इन्हां दी website ते भी जाके देख सकते हो. Website screen ते लिखी हुई है. And दर्शਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ मैं दसना चाहती हां, जान तो पहले ਇਹ special broadcast ਅਸੀਂ ਮੁੱਦਾ ਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਕੀਤਾ. ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਇੱਕ ਵੱਖਰਾ broadcast ਹੋਏਗਾ, ਸਾਡੀ special programming. ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਲਗਾਤਾਰ programming ਨੂੰ ਹਰ हट के प्रोवाइड की जाएगी। जगतार सिंह जग्गी जी तुहाडे नाल जुड़नगे एंड जान तो पहले एक बारी फिर मैं व्यूअर्स नूं दसना चाहनी इस फिल्म दा ट्रेलर भी तुसी वेख सकदे हो। कोई भी इन्फॉर्मेशन अगर तुसी साडे नाल गेस्ट दे नाल क्वेश्चंस कमेंट्स कंसर्न्स रखने हो तुसी सानू भी लिख सकदे हो info@jusbroadcasting.com aashmeeta@jusbroadcasting.com। हुण सानू सारिआं नूं दिओ इजाजत एक बारी फिर सत श्री अकाल।
I used to be seen as an outsider, but now people see me as a villain. But I got a strange idea. If I'm going to stand out, I want people to see me as Sikh and an American.